Welcome to this demonstration of the ClickZ Academy. The menu page allows you to access the content or use the arrow buttons. You'll be presented with information about what is going to be covered, about the author, and the content itself, which is delivered as audio and graphics.
Here's a statistic. More than 95% of all site traffic for organic, non-branded queries on Google, Yahoo, and Bing come from page 1 search results. So getting found in search, and especially getting found on page 1 of search results, is pretty important. Let's look at the 3 fundamentals of SEO. So if we had to break down SEO into 3 different categories, and they're all equally as important, they can be broken down into architecture, links, and content. So architecture is a one-shot deal, and linking is something that is happening, it's ongoing, whether it's a website or a blog, and content is also something that is ongoing, whether it's a website or blog or social media content. So we are always looking at ways to grow our content, and content is copywriting. Just looking at this pie chart, you can see I broke it down into the 3 fundamentals of SEO, and we're going to really focus on content, not architecture at all, but from content, and especially from our copywriting, and effective optimized copywriting can come effective links. So we're really talking about 2 different categories here that can be affected when you're putting together good quality optimized copywriting. I'm sure you've heard this before. This has been a term that's been around since the .com days, that content is king. So why is content king? And let's also just a reminder that copywriting is content. There's many other types of content besides copywriting, besides the copy or the text that's within a website or a blog, but we're focusing on just the writing part of it now. So why is content king? Well, it's one of the 3 most important factors of search marketing. If you break it down into architecture, links, and content, content is an ongoing effort. It's not a one-time, like, just fix it and forget it type of thing. This is something that needs to be an ongoing effort, whether it's a blog, a social media, news content that you're writing, or your website. We have to look at ourselves as if we're publishers of content. We're publishing some sort of a publication, and that publication is either our blog or our website or one of our social media networks. And not just any content. It needs to be good content. It needs to be great copy. And this really sets the law of attraction for websites, social media news, and blogs. So when is content king? Content is king, or copy is king, when it's optimized, when it's relevant for the audience that you're writing for, when it's considered valuable, and when it's socialized. And we're going to get into more detail on these 4 different topics. I wanted to point out, this is a quote that Lee Odin is very famous for saying, and I could not agree more, and it's been used again and again, but I want to put this here as a reminder. If it can be searched on, it can be optimized for better marketing performance. So text or copy is something that can be searched on. It's probably, out of all the different things to be searched on, it's probably the one that has the most volume. So it's even more important because there's so much volume of text out there that your text or your content is as optimized as possible. So again, I'm reminding you, copywriting equals content. Optimized copywriting equals searchable content. I've included here an optimization copywriting checklist. These are just the basics of what type of content or what type of copywriting areas that you might be able to apply some of the things that we're talking about. Web pages, press releases, blog posts, Facebook posts, tweets, and LinkedIn updates. This is not a complete list, but these are your basics, and if you're going to start anywhere, start at your web page or your blog. So let's look at some copywriting optimization steps. We're going to look at keywords, we're going to look at headlines, format and style, links, and a call to action. Let's first look at keywords. So when you're optimizing your copy, keywords are pretty much your first step. You need to identify which keywords you're going to be using on that web page, in that blog post, or in that tweet, or in that Facebook post. You want to identify one or two of the most important keywords or keyword phrases. Now, keep this in context. If we're talking about a blog post, we're going to have probably 1, 2, or 3 keyword phrases or keywords. If we're talking about a tweet, maybe it's just going to have one keyword in it. We want to make sure that we front load our headlines with the primary keyword. Our most important keyword is our primary keyword. We want to use keywords in headings and subheads throughout the copy. This is important. So if you're going to be optimizing a web page or a blog post, we want to make sure that the keywords are used throughout that web page or blog post, not just in the headline, not just at the very bottom of the page, and especially balanced. We don't want to use it multiple times to the point where it looks spammy. And make sure when we're using keywords or keyword phrases that we're linking those keywords or keyword phrases to possibly another page of your website, another source, another area on your blog that you covered this, or even an outside source. So if you're stating a statistic and you want to link out, you can also use that as an opportunity to link out to the source, for example, the Wall Street Journal. But ultimately, you want to try to keep the links as links within your website or your blog to take people to different areas. Now, here's a tip from Matt Cutts. He says to think about what people are going to type in to a search to find your page. So what are people going to be typing in? If they're going to be looking for example, a social media agency, maybe they're going to type in social media PR agency. If that's what they're going to type in, then make sure that those keywords are on that page that you're trying to optimize, that you're writing for. If they're searching for a certain type of, let's say, summer sandal, and that summer sandal has a brand name, make sure that the brand name and the words summer sandal are within that page. If there's a designer name, use the designer name. So think about what the searchers are going to be searching for and what they're going to be typing into a search query to find your page. Those are the keywords that you should be including in that page.
There's an exercise to test your knowledge.